In this video, let us see about Elgamal digital signature scheme. So we need to keep two things in mind. The first one is public key is for decryption, and the second one is private key is for encryption. These are the two main things that we need to keep in mind. Now let us see the steps. The first step is we need to choose a prime number. I am going to choose the alphabet Q. The second step is we need to choose some random number alpha. And there are two conditions for this. This alpha must be lesser than Q. That is, it should be lesser than the prime number. And the second condition is this alpha must be a primitive root of the prime number Q. I'll teach about this primitive root when I explain a problem. User A is going to generate the public and the private key pair as follows. So let us see the steps one by one. So this is Q comma alpha. We know the values of Q as well as alpha. This Q is the prime number and alpha is some random integer. So now let us see the steps under this. The first step is we need to generate a random integer. So I'm going to denote this random integer as XA. And this XA must be greater than 1 and lesser than the prime number minus 1. In the next step, we need to compute the value of YA. The formula for that is alpha to the power XA mod Q. So user A's private key and user A's public key. So user A's private key is your XA value and user A's public key is your Q's value, alpha's value and YA's value. In order to sign a message M, this user A will perform hash to this message M. So hash of M, and I'm going to store this hash of M in this small m. And this small m must be greater than or equal to 0 and it should be lesser than or equal to Q minus 1. The next step is we need to generate a random integer K. And this K must be greater than or equal to 1 and lesser than or equal to prime number minus 1. And the GCD of this K and Q minus 1 should be equal to 1. The next step is we need to find the S1's value. That is the signature S1's value. The formula for that is alpha to the power K mod Q. Next step is we need to find the value of K inverse mod Q minus 1. Next step we need to find the S2's value. It is K inverse into M minus XA S1 mod Q minus 1. This is the formula for finding S2. So after finding S1 and S2, we need to write the signature pair inside the brackets. S1 comma S2. This is the signature pair. Now, user B wants to verify whether this signature pair is valid or not. For that there are two formulas. One is V1's formula, one is V2's formula. V1's formula is alpha to the power m mod q. V2's formula is ya to the power s1, s1 to the power s2 mod q. So these are the two formulas. We need to find V1 separately and V2 separately. If V1 is equal to V2, then we can say that the signature is valid. If this satisfies, we can say that the signature is valid. Now let us see an example problem. The first step is we need to choose a prime number. And we had denoted the prime number with the alphabet Q. So Q is equal to, so it can be any prime number, so I'm going to choose it as 19. Next it is the value of M. So I'm going to choose the value of M as 14. We know that the condition for that M was it should be greater than or equal to 0 and it should be lesser than or equal to Q minus 1. So 0 less than or equal to, in the M's place I'm going to choose it as 14, less than or equal to Q minus 1. So 19 minus 1, which is 18. So obviously this 14 is greater than 0 and it is lesser than 18. So this will be the perfect value for M. Next it is K's value. I'm going to choose the K value as 5. The condition for this K value was K must be greater than or equal to 1 and lesser than or equal to Q minus 1. And also the GCD of this K and Q minus 1 must be 1. So here I have chosen the K value as 5. So 5 is obviously greater than 1 and it is lesser than 19 minus 1, which is 18. So it is greater than 1 and it is lesser than 18. It should also satisfy the condition that GCD of K, Q minus 1 is equal to 1. So GCD of the K's value is 5. So I have written 5 over here. And the Q's value is 19. So 19 minus 1 is 18. So now I'm going to do GCD for these two numbers. So for 5, in 5 tables it will go. So I'm getting 1. Then for 18, I'm doing it in 2 tables. So 9 times it will go. Next 3 tables. So 3 times, again 3 tables, I'm getting 1. So now I should look at these numbers. So over here I have got 5. Over here I have got 2, 3 and 3. I should check whether any number is common in both. So nothing is common. This 5 is not present anywhere over here. So therefore the GCD is 1. So since it is satisfying both the conditions, I can choose the value for K as 5. Next I am going to choose the XA value as 16. The condition for XA was it should be greater than 1 and lesser than Q minus 1. So 16 is obviously greater than 1 and 19 minus 1 means you'll get 18. So this 16 is greater than 1 and lesser than 18. So I can choose the value of XA as 16. Next we need to choose the alpha value. So I'm going to choose the alpha value as 10. The condition for choosing the alpha value is this alpha should be lesser than Q and it should also be the primitive root of Q. So 10 is lesser than the Q's value is 19. So 10 is definitely lesser than Q. So it is satisfying the first condition. The second condition is alpha must be the primitive root of Q. So now let us check whether alpha is primitive root of q or not. The answer that we get for the primitive root must be in the range of 1 to q minus 1. That is 1 to 19 minus 1, which is 1 to 18. So the numbers should be from 1 to 18. So now in the power we should write the numbers starting from 1 till 18. That is 10 to the power 1. This 10 is the alpha value to the power 1 that I am taking from this range. Mod the q's value, which is 19. Next 10, again I am writing the alpha's value. The range's next number is 2, so 2 mod 19. And so on it will go, and I should end it up with this 18 because it is only till power 18. So 10 power 18 mod 19. So I'll be getting some answers for all these. 10 cube mod 19, 10 to the power 4 mod 19. So I'll be getting answers for each and everything. So those answers should be from 1 to 18. If I'm getting all the numbers from 1 to 18 inside this, then I can choose my alpha value as 10. So now let us find the value for these three. 10 to the power 1 mod 19, which is equal to 10 mod 19. Smaller number modulus the bigger number, the answer will be the smaller number. Next it is 10 square mod 19, which is 10 into 10 mod 19, which is equal to 100 mod 19. So when I divide this 100 by 19, I'll be getting a remainder. That is the answer for this. So 100 divided by 19, it will go 5 times. 5 into 19 is 95. So the remainder is 5. So answer will be 5. So for this the answer is 10. For 10 square mod 19 the answer is 5. Next let us find for 10 to the power 18 mod 19. So for that we must know the answer for 10 to the power 4 mod 19 and 10 to the power 9 mod 19. So first let us solve those two. So 10 to the power 4 mod 19 is equal to, I can write this 10 to the power 4 as 10 square into 10 square. When the bases are same, I can add the powers. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So I can write it in this form, mod 19. I already found the answer for 10 square mod 19. The value for that is 5. So 5 into again 10 square mod 19. So 5 mod 19, which is equal to 25 mod 19. Now we need to divide this 25 by 19 and find out the remainder. So when I divide this 25 by 19, it will go 1 time. So 1 into 19 is 19. I'll be getting the remainder as 6. So the answer for this is 6. Next I need to find 10 to the power 9 mod 19. I can write this as 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 4 into 10 mod 19. So the value for 10 to the power 4 mod 19, we found it over here, that is 6. So 6 into again 10 to the power 4 mod 19, it is 6 into 10 mod 19. The answer for 10 mod 19 is 10. So I should write 10 over here. Mod 19, which is equal to 36 into 10 mod 19, which is equal to 360 mod 19. So when I divide this 360 by 19, it will go 1 times, so 19, 17 I'll get, then 170, so it will go 8 times, 152 I'll get, so the balance is 18, so the remainder for this is 18. So the name for this method is modular arithmetic. This is the easiest way. So now we have found the values for 10 power 4 mod 19 and 10 power 9 mod 19. So now we can easily find it for 10 to the power 18 mod 19. So 10 to the power 18 mod 19. I can split this 10 to the power 18 as 10 to the power 9 into 10 to the power 9 mod 19. So we found the value for 10 to the power 9 over here. That is 18. So 18 into again 10 to the power 9. So 18 mod 19. 18 into 18 is 324. So 324 mod 19. So now I need to divide this 324 by 19. It will go 1 time. Balance 19. 3, 1. 134. 7 times it will go 133. The remainder is 1. So this is equal to 1. So now in the place of 10 to the power 18 mod 19, I'm going to fill it as 1. So if you find all the values, you'll get the answers from 1 to 18. You'll get all the answers from 1 to 18 that is present in this range. So therefore I can choose the value of alpha as 10. So now let us proceed with the steps. So we have generated the XA, that is the random integers value, as 16. Now we need to find the value of YA. The formula for this is alpha to the power XA mod Q. So the alpha's value, we chose it as 10. To the power XA's value is 16. Mod the Q's value is 19. So now we need to find out the answer for this. 10 to the power 16 mod 19. In order to find this, I should know the value of 10 to the power 8 mod 19. So I can split this 10 to the power 8 as 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 4 mod 19. We already found 10 to the power 4 mod 19, that is 6. So I'm going to write 6 into 6 mod 19, which is equal to 36 mod 19. Now I can divide this 36 by 19. It will go 1 time, so 19. I'll get 17 as the remainder. Now for this 10 to the power 16 mod 19, I can split it as 10 to the power 8 into 10 to the power 8 mod 19. So 10 to the power 8 mod 19's value is 17. So 17 into 17 mod 19, which is equal to 17 into 17 is 289. So 289 mod 19. So now we need to divide this 289 by 19. It will go 1 time. 99, so it will go 5 times. 95, and remainder will be 4. So the answer for this is 4. So therefore YA is equal to 4. The next step is we need to write the A's private key and user A's private key and user A's public key. So user A's private key is the XA's value. The XA's value we just now found, that is 16. Next it is the public keys value, which is Q, alpha, YA. The Q's value is 19, alpha's value is 10 and YA's value, we found it over here, which is 4. So this is user A's private key and this is the user A's public key. The next step is M is equal to H of M. Under the condition M should be greater than or equal to 0 and lesser than Q minus 1. So it is satisfying this condition because we have chosen the value of M as 14 only after checking the conditions. This is the first condition and the second condition is GCD of M and Q minus 1 should be equal to 1. So the next step is we need to find the S1's value. The formula for that is alpha to the power K mod Q. Alpha's value is 10 to the power K's value is 5. Over here we saw the K's value is 5. After checking all these conditions only, we chose the value of K as 5. Mod the Q's value is 19. So 10 to the power 5 mod 19 we need to solve and find the answer. So this we can write as 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 1 mod 19. For 10 to the power 4 mod we found that the value is 6. So 6 into, for 10 to the power 1 it is 10 mod 19, which is equal to 60 mod 19. Now we need to divide 60 by 19. So it will go 3 times 57. So the balance is 3. So your S1's value is equal to 3. Next we need to find K inverse mod Q minus 1's value. That is 5 inverse mod 19 minus 1, which is equal to 5 inverse mod 18. So we need to solve and find the value for this. Using the Euclidean algorithm, we can find the value for this. GCD of 18, 5 is equal to 1. Since the GCD of 18, 5 is equal to 1, I am allowed to use the Euclidean algorithm. That is, I am allowed to find the inverse. Only when the GCD of those two numbers is equal to 1, I can find the inverse. So how GCD of 18 and 5 is 1? 18, it will go 2 times. In 2 tables it will go. So 9. Then 3 tables. So 3 and 1. Here 5. It will go in 5 tables. So 1. Nothing is common in these two. Therefore the GCD is 1. So now first we need to draw a table for this. R1, R2. This R1 is the first value. R2 is the second value in this GCD. This is the quotient. When you divide R1 by R2, you'll get a quotient that you should write here. And then you'll get a reminder that you must write it over here. Next is T1. Next is T2. And the last one is T. The formula for T is T1 minus Q into T2. This is the formula. Initially, the T1's and T2's value will be 0 and 1 respectively. R1's value is the first value, so 18, and R2's value is the second value, so 5. Now we need to divide this 18 by 5. So when I divide this 18 by 5, it will go 3 times, so 15. I'll get the remainder as 3 and the quotient also as 3. So the quotient is 3, so I'm writing 3. The remainder is also 3, so I'm writing it as 3. Now we need to find the T value. The T's value is T1 minus Q into T2. The T1's value is 0, so 0 minus the Q's value, just now we found it is 3. 3 into T2's value is 1. So 0 minus 3 is equal to minus 3. So your T's value will be minus 3. Now I should bring the R2's value to R1 and R's value to R2. Now I should divide these two. So when I divide 5 by 3, it will go 1 time. So 3, I'll get the remainder as 2. So I'm getting the remainder as 2 and the quotient as 1. Next, I should bring the T2's value to T1 and T's value to T2. Now I should find the value of T. That is T1 minus Q into T2. Here the T1's value is 1 minus the Q's value is 1 for this into the T2's value is minus 3. So you'll be getting 1 plus 3, which is equal to 4. So over here I should write 4. Now I should bring this R2's value over here and R's value over here. Now I should divide this 3 by 2. It will go 1 time. I'll get the remainder as 1. So remainder is also 1. Quotient is also 1. Next I should bring this T2's value over here and T's value over here. And I should find the T's value. That is T1, which is minus 3 minus the Q's value is 1 into T2, which is 4. So minus 3 minus 4, which is minus 7. So I should write minus 7 over here. Next I should bring this R2's value over here and R's value over here. Now I should divide this 2 by 1. When I divide 2 by 1, it will go 2 times. So I'll get 0 as the remainder. So remainder is 0 and the quotient is 2. I should bring this T2's value to T1 and T's value to T2. T1 is 4 minus Q's value is 2 into T2's value is minus 7. So 4 plus 14, it is 18. So you'll be getting 18 over here. Now we should bring this R2's value to R1 and R's value to R2. So once you get R2's value as 0, we must stop over here and your R1's value will be the GCD. So since the GCD is 1, I'm allowed to find the inverse. So my inverse value is going to be the T1's latest value. So here also I should bring this T2 to T1 and T2 T2. So this is my latest value. So I'm going to choose this latest value. So phi inverse mod 18 is equal to the latest value was minus 7. So now since over here it is 18, I should add this minus 7 with 18. So I'll be getting 11. So the answer for phi inverse mod 18 is 11. The next step is we need to find the S2's value, which is K inverse into M minus XA S1 mod Q minus 1. So your K inverse value is 11 into M's value is 14 minus XA's value is 16, S1's value is 3 mod Q's value is 19. So 19 minus 1 is 18. So 11 into 14 minus 48 mod 18, which is equal to 11 into minus 34 mod 18, which is equal to minus 374 mod 18. I should write it in this form. Minus 374 mod 18. So the form is A is equal to Q into N plus R. Over here, this is the A value, which is minus 374 is equal to Q into your N's value is this. So 18 plus R. Now I should divide this 374 by 18. So when I divide 374 by 18, I'll get 2 times 36, 0.7 times, so 126. So I'm getting the quotient as 20.7, which is nothing but 21. So in the place of Q, I'm going to write 21 into 18. I should write minus 21 into 18 because in the question minus is given. Plus the remainder R. So I should find the remainder R. When I multiply 21 and 18, I'll be getting the answer as 378 and minus is already there in the question, so I should write minus, plus R is equal to minus 374. If the R's value is 4, only if the R's value is 4, when I add this with minus 378, I'll get the answer as minus 374. So my R's value is equal to 4. So minus 374 is equal to minus 378 plus 4 means when I solve this, I'll be getting minus 374. So this is equal to this. Therefore, my R's value is 4. In the next step, I should write S1 and S2 pair, which is 3, 4. Now, I need to verify whether the signature pair is valid or not. So, V1's formula is alpha to the power m mod Q, which is equal to 10 to the power 14 mod 19. So, I need to solve this and find the V1's value. So this 10 power 14 mod 19, I can write it as 10 to the power 7 into 10 to the power 7 mod 19. We don't know the value for 10 to the power 7 mod 19. So first we need to find 10 to the power 7 mod 19. So this we can write it as 10 to the power 4 into 10 square into 10 to the power 1 mod 19. We found that 10 power 4 mod 19 is 6 and 10 square mod 19 is 5 and 10 mod 19 is 10. So 30 into 10 is 300. So 300 mod 19. So when I divide this 300 by 19, it will go 1 times. Then it will go 5 times. So I'll get the remainder as 15. So now I can substitute this value over here. So 15 into 15 mod 19, which is equal to 225 mod 19. So 19, then 35, again 1 times 19. So therefore V1's value is equal to 16. Next we need to find the value of V2. The formula for that is ya to the power s1 s1 to the power s2 mod q, which is equal to 4 power 3 into 3 power 4 mod 19. So when you solve this 4 cube, you will be getting 64, because 16 into 4 is 64. Then 9 into 9 is 81 mod 19. 64 into 81, 4, 6. So you'll get 5184 mod 19. So now we need to divide these two. So I'll get 2 times. So 38. So 3, 1, then 180. 7 times. 133. 5 times. Then 4. 2 times. 38, then I'll get the remainder as 16. So therefore the answer for V2 is 16. The answer for V1 was also 16. The answer for V2 is also 16. Therefore V1 is equal to V2. Hence this signature pair is valid one. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get the new video updates. And please don't forget to share it with your friends. It may be very helpful for them. Thank you.